Good morning everyone and welcome to my channel English Literature. Today we are going to talk about The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Now have a look at the setting and the date of publication. The novel is published in 1925 and the setting is New York City, the Long Island. Have a look at the map. The New York City is just in the southeastern part of USA. Find it? And Long Island is just this narrow strip. You can find it is too narrow. Just look at this point. This is the Long Island. So in this setting the novel is going to take place. If you can bounce, I bounce for her too, till she cries, lover, gold-hatted, high-bouncing lover, I must have you. So the novel starts with these lines, and what does this line signify? That these lines signify the flamboyant life of America, and the beloved is praising her lover because he is gold-hatted. That means he is affluent, he is rich, and he is how high bouncing. That refers to the showiness, ostentatious lifestyle of that age. The novel The Great Gatsby 1925 opens up with Thomas Parke d'Invilliers alias F. Scott Fitzgerald. So what is the original name of F. Scott Fitzgerald? Thomas Parke d'Invilliers alias F. Scott Fitzgerald. With a glib poem, the poem is glib poem insinuating the sleek tapestry that I told you, the ostentatious lifestyle, the flamboyant lifestyle, showiness around which he is going to deploy his characters. So when you read the novel, you will find that all the characters are not deep, they are shallow, they are just showy of their richness, their prosperity, but in their heart they are just hollow. We are the hollow man, we are the stuffed man. Characters. So we first go through the characters, and then if we get introduced to the character, then we can go through the novel more easily, I think. The first character is Nick Carraway. He is the narrator of the novel, and I feel that he is the only genuine character of this novel. He just rejuvenates the love between J. Gatsby and Daisy, his cousin. Between them, the love that was already prevailed in ancient time, he came and rejuvenated that love. And he has a genuine feelings for Gatsby. He is the most honest character, I told you. Next, J. Gatsby. J. Gatsby is the protagonist of this novel, upon whose the novel is named The Great Gatsby. J. Gatsby is the Great Gatsby. Why he is so great? Okay, let's see. He is fabulously rich. He's from, the story is a millionaire who became pauper to prince. Self-made millionaire. J. Gatsby is actually a self-made millionaire. He became a prince from the pauper. But he is shallow at his heart. He just throw party to unknown people. He just show how rich he is and how powerful. But he has not a genuine thought. He cannot contemplate over the situation. He always tries to impress others, but one thing is genuine in him. What is that? His love for Daisy. It is almost totally genuine and blind at the same time. That will cause his doom. Now, the next character, very important character, Daisy Buchanan. Daisy Buchanan is Nick's second cousin. He is deals with the unfaithful husband, and she's just frustrated with her life. So when Nick came in the scenario and rejuvenate J. Gatsby's love with Daisy, Daisy just accept the offer. You can hear there too much clamor. The birds are doing quarreling just in the mango trees, just behind my window. I can't concentrate. So Daisy Buchanan rejuvenate her love with J. Gatsby. Why? She really loves him? Not at all. Because she is depressed. She is depressed with her husband's unfaithfulness. That's why it is just a type of entertainment for her. To get out of her frustration. No real feeling. When he took charge of her hit and run accident. So Daisy Buchanan will do an accident and murder a woman. That woman is her husband's mistress. So Daisy Buchanan will murder her husband's mistress, but J. Gatsby, with her profound love, took the charge of that murder and himself get killed in the process. But for that, Daisy Buchanan had no respect, no regard, no concern, nothing else, and no repentance. When J. Gatsby get murdered, he just find another one to get out of her frustration. So this is the character of American Dream. Okay, we'll talk about American Dream later. Tom Buchanan. Tom Buchanan is Daisy's husband. Insensitive, course, illicit relationship with Myrtle Wilson. So Myrtle Wilson is the victim of Daisy Buchanan's hit and run accident. And he is very selfish, manipulative. He blamed the killing of Myrtle Wilson on J. He put the blame on J. Gatsby, so J. Gatsby will be murdered by Myrtle Wilson's husband, who is another type of, I can say, foolish person. So that is Tom Buchanan, selfish and manipulative, no conscience, no heart. Now Myrtle Wilson. Myrtle Wilson is Tom Buchanan's mistress. She's a gold digger. She pretends to be very rich, but she's just nothing. And George Wilson. George Wilson is Myrtle Wilson's husband. He's a pathetic figure. His wife never saw any trifle respect for him, always abused him, always talked bad in front of at his mouth. But in spite of all this, George Wilson has profound faith on his wife, and when Myrtle Wilson was killed, he think that J. Gatsby is responsible for that, and he just killed J. Gatsby and himself suicide. So this is George Wilson. Now narrative. How the story is told by J. Gatsby. Story is told by Nick Carraway, and it is the story of J. Gatsby, a self-made millionaire. Okay, and his obsessive pursuit for his adolescent love, Daisy Buchanan. He cannot forget Daisy Buchanan. So even when Daisy Buchanan has get married in and just settle in her life, he just came to get her again. A wealthy, flippant young woman married to Tom Buchanan. Again, Tom Buchanan has an extramarital affair with Myrtle Wilson, wife of George Wilson, a poor mechanic. So you can imagine just the network. The story is told from the first person limited point of view of Nick, his cousin of Daisy. Nick guides us to the lives of the characters and their interactions as much as he can see and perceive. And what does Nick do? Yale University graduate, and he moves to New York in association with his bond business. So just keep this point in mind that Nick Carraway, from which university he graduated? Yale University, and moves to New York and do his bond business. He rents a house where West Egg, and there he came into acquaintance with Mr. Gatsby. Now J. Gatsby, we will talk about J. Gatsby and American Dream. It is very important aspect of this novel, you have to keep in mind. Now set at the backdrop of Judge Age. Okay, what is Judge Age? After First World War, the Judge Age started in America, and it was continued till 1920, the Great Depression. Okay, so it is the actual related time span, the Great Depression, Okay, the Judge Age was a time period from, you can say, 1920 to 30. That was started after First World War, and this age was marked by affluence, economic affluence, prosperity, and a hedonistic style of life, carefree, flamboyant lifestyle. Jazz music, jazz dance, everything new, innovative, just awesome. And with the Great Depression, 1929, when the economic condition of America fell, the jazz is gradually dwindled. But the effect of jazz music, jazz song, jazz thought, you can say, is even still now prominent in American heart. The Great Gatsby is a dystopian dilemma of the American dream. And now what is the American dream? Okay. You have to keep in mind, just I have no such place, I think. I can write here. Okay, 1 second. I can write here. So what is American dream? Just take a note. James Truslow Adams first used the term American dream in 1931. Okay, it will be 1931. So James Truslow Adams first used the term in 1931. It is called American dream. And what is this American dream? This American dream is about a kind of, you can say, utopian lifestyle. The dream of prosperity, equality, privileged society. That dream is called American dream. But is the dream it is really possible to have that dream fulfilled? So we will talk about that in this J. Gatsby story and American dream. Actually here Fitzgerald just collaborate these things, do two things. J. Gatsby's life, the failure of J. Gatsby's life and American dream. They both are just nothing. They are just both like not permanent, not solid. What did J. Gatsby do? He became very rich, prosperous, but he has no genuine intelligence, the power to contemplate, the power to think. That's why his life came to a very tragic, pathetic end. He fight for his prosperity, fight for affluence, fight for the American dream. But with his death, both he himself and the American dream came to a halt, totally just shattered. His hard-earned status, his ambition, money, all collapsed under his blind love for a lady for whom nothing is serious except her fancy. And Daisy Buchanan is just another name of fancy. She has no depth. She has no capacity to love. This is the people of America in that time. They don't think deep. Just float over the life. Don't dive deep. So after Gatsby's murder, this point is very important. After Gatsby's murder, when Nick met Daisy, there was not a dab of grief in her voice. So only the genuine character who is portraying this character, that is Nick, he is the only genuine character, and he is telling us that when Gatsby's murder, so he met Daisy, he found there is not at all any type of grief, lamentation or any pain in Daisy's feature. She told him that how she gets involved with another man. She proudly declared her new love affair. Nothing is important. That J. Gatsby took the charge of her murder on his own shoulder and just died in the courts, but she has no repentance. So Fitzgerald's depressing sarcasm, it is totally a sarcastic attitude towards American dream. Towards the American dream insinuates the ugly head of consumerism, the rapid expansion of industrial pollution. And what is this thing happening? Consumerism, trade, industrial prosperity, but at the heart human beings are getting just shallow, narrow and nothing. Flimsy. His dream must have seemed too close, could hardly fail to grasp it. He didn't know that it was already behind him. Somewhere back in that vast obscurity beyond the city, where the dark fields of the Republic rolled under the night. So in this line, Fitzgerald just collaborated the dream of J. Gatsby and the American dream in same line. Gatsby's tragic death stands for the death of American dream. Every individual American and America is standing in the same iceberg of catastrophe. The futility is reinforced by the name of a value of assets. You will find the name of a value. There are too many symbols in this novel. Like, T.S. Eliot's The Wasteland, totally based on symbols, and Life of Modern Man with the hollow man. And here you also find that hollowness, that echoing of Eliot's thought you will find in Fitzgerald. Value of asses, as nothing will produce from that as. So hollow society. The society portrayed by Fitzgerald is hollow at heart. That's why you will find there is a part when Nick is describing the characters, particularly the women characters. They are blown back, they are ballooned, what they are balancing. Just like in the very first chapter, you will find that the characters are ballooned. What happened to a balloon? The balloon is just a circle or anything full of air. If you prick it, it will just get burst. Nothing is deep, nothing is solid inside it. So these characters are like ballooned. They have nothing inside them. They are hollow, just airy. And they get devastated at a single pick. Anyway, it's a very wonderful reading, and you could say in American literature, F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby is a very important novel, a landmark novel. Okay, thank you with Great Gatsby. Be aware of the theory of Great Gatsby. Fall in love, but not fall in love blindly. You can get murdered.